Hey peeps, Pinkolol16 here and another commentary for my own videos. Another video of my own to commentate over. We're up to part 6 of Super Mario 64, The Curse of Invincibility frames. In the beginning, when I began the series, I sort of rushed arcs 1 and 2 because I really was hyped to develop arc 3 and 4. Arcs 3 and 4 were very influential because Arc 3 was meant to be the one where I wanted to accept a lot of people, because in this way it made sense. If anyone can come from any outside external source and get trapped within the world, they don't really need too much of an explanation to be there. So I wanted, instead of having everyone comment on my video saying, hey, I want to be in the video, can you include my color code, and plasters it on the comment in the description or in the PM or something, instead of them doing that and not being accepted, I wanted to actually start Arc 3 up so that they could actually submit color codes. This was the slowest part, however, that I had to make of the series, because not that many people even put their color codes up. They had a lot of chances, actually, to put a lot of things up, and a lot of people did put their things up, but mostly they were people I knew. And the ones I didn't know were the people I didn't know were actually of a minority. So no one really put their color codes in. They were just sort of put them when they couldn't, and there was a lot of people that I just knew that would just put them in, and I was like, why? You guys want fame and fortune in Mario's videos, but not mine when I'm giving you the chance? It's like, so you're gonna see in part 10 or part 9, whichever one it is, where I had to compromise because I didn't get enough color codes, and I wasn't going to spend time waiting when no one else was around to give color codes for. So I tried accepting fans, but no, I didn't get as many fans for it. So I tried to work the story around it, in a sense. So this is Arc 3, which was focusing around YTR and fans, before I got to Arc 4, which would specifically focus on the YTR and their counterparts, which would be enough characters in of themselves to focus on. A lot of these people are in different places now. The characters in this particular intro are the ones that weren't trapped beforehand that will help me initially. There are a lot of other characters that are YTR members that will take place in this particular series, but the ones specifically here are the ones that when I walk into the castle, they won't be trapped. Although they might have been before temporarily, but they're not now. Surprisingly, despite me focusing on a large amount of the YTR, I wanted to give Starman 3 a backseat role in this whole thing, so he's not really main star of Arc 3 as you'd think he would be. I think he pops up really around the end of Arc 3. This is the transition when it changed to March 1, because I changed the texture pack to fit it. So the whole adventure in the Star World apparently took a night. Even though we saw it in 5 minutes in the perception of the characters, it was a night to them. That's what's going on. musically synced. And this isn't because I left, but like left the group. This is like, why am I actually here? Not because they are not fond of me, but because my information has just literally come from nowhere. Half the color codes, well, half the color codes that represent the people in this room wouldn't even like have probably all moved on by now, by the time I'm commentating over this. But back then they were really relevant people. So essentially Mario and the others did their job, and then something's gonna happen to them later on down the line. I'm not very consistent with how I explain the character is in thought mode, but when you see it, you basically know the character's in thought mode. Oh yeah, the reason why I explained gender, hold on, let me cut back to that scene, is because Jinder saved himself, which really shouldn't have happened, but the script needed to progress itself in a way that Jinder saved himself in some way. But I chalk it up to the energy being weaker when he initially released it. But in the later cases, in the arcs themselves, in Arc 3 and beyond, the character wouldn't be able to save themselves by collecting the 100 coin star on their own if they're already trapped. So, yeah, that was a weird blooper on my part, I guess, but it really shouldn't have happened. I also wanted to really make sure each character would accurately represented the person they were actually talking about and such, and their way of speaking. So Cyrus will refer to Starman 3 as Jacob, meanwhile everyone else will refer to him as Starman, I guess, because of the way I heard others speak in the group. And I needed to incorporate that into the story because of the way the story works. Pretty sure they don't care now, though. So I'm still not done. No, I'm still not done, and I need help, basically, was what I'm saying. Again, this also tied into how I scripted Enzo's lines. Enzo similarly spoke in that way as well, so I decided to script him in a certain way. Although this really doesn't matter by the end because it ends up being similar anyway. this isn't just because, oh yeah, I'd completely left the group by the time I made this part. It just makes general sense to not start saving the others without him being around, even if the arc is supposed to be YTR oriented. It's supposed to be YTR oriented, not Starman 3 oriented. Although yes, he will appear. I didn't want to just start a bomb on Battlefield like everyone does because it's stupid and I hate it. So I started with a random weird method of organizing the levels. I did it in the Arc 4 with the 4th dimension as well. This was in like the original document. So the original document plan of the entire series, not the script, the document plan, which was the plot synopsis and how it would play out. So, and this also included who was going to be in each area as well. Funnily enough, that actually happened, like, after the part was made in, like, for, like, a week or something, and then I don't know what happened after that. I didn't intentionally, like, force it for him, I just scripted the lines as they were. I didn't particularly focus on anyone in particular when I focused on their script. I just focused on some random people, so I don't think I gave them any quirks or anything in their script. Back then, Memo was a lot more inclined to him because of the way she is, and more recently, to the time of when I'm recording this commentary, I have had contact with her, but I don't think she cares in the same way as before. And in terms of SM64 Machinima, I mean, because of the way practically everybody moved on. It's a double bracket because of I'm saying she's whispering. This is part of what I did after the fact. After the fact I left, I put several hints in my scripts to the fact that SM3 beforehand, before the series started, had acted weird to me as a person, which references the events that happened in January of 2014 between me and him. And yeah, it was in the story it shortly happens before Starman 3's weirdness in March of that year. So I placed several hints to tell people, yes, I have left, yes, I know, but the story's not going to actually directly mention that, and I'm not going to actually just randomly leave because the release date said so, I guess. Later on, most of the hints wouldn't be given to other characters, though. It would be given to, like, me or something. I don't go to every area. This is like the only bit that actually happens. And no, I don't put a music video in this. This is the whole reason the thing took so long, because I wanted it not to be music video this time. Freeze camera code bonked me there. These two, and in particular, these color codes, I think I told you before they were based off of, some girls that randomly hugged me at school, and I really didn't like them. Well, yeah, I decided to use them as, like, actual villains and foils. Like, they were just randomly side minions, I guess, but they're not meant to be a massive threat, really. If this particular discussion doesn't hint it to you, they're supposed to be idiots, because in real life the basis for them were actually idiots. So I decided, oh, let's make the color code versions of them idiots. I think that's the first time where I have a script line of a character that's not in the scene, so she's talking meanwhile I'm sneaking up on her. I hate the freeze camera code. Let me tell you that right now. That's supposed to be humorous. That you and what army joke. Special power as in, let's use the exit course button, which is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to make an in-canon explanation for this stuff without saying, oh yeah, let's use exit course as like the actual thing. That scene took forever to film, by the way. That's kind of why it was floating in the water. He's supposed to be the stereotypical fan, which is part of the point. At least he's better scripted than what Starman 3 or Mario would put him in. And like a one-shot scene where he says one line instead of 3. Sped up footage of everyone getting stars. Because nobody likes gameplay footage. And I wanted to show them actually legitimately escaping. I think it was something to do with one of Starman 3's videos or something, but I don't remember now. Now you'd think you'd be screaming at the screen, "There's a 100 coin star!" But you realize that they actually haven't had any explanation about this beforehand. So they suddenly got invincibility frames out of nowhere, and now they're suddenly trapped, and they don't know why, and they don't know how to escape until somebody tells them. So yeah, that's exactly why everyone's confused. This is exactly why I wanted to try and script this better than how Starman 3 would make a story like this, because they would give every character the same type of knowledge, the same amount of knowledge. They would know everything, and that wouldn't make sense in a situation where they're not supposed to know stuff like this. So I make it very clear in every area beforehand that every one of the characters that's trapped doesn't know a darn thing. But they are trapped, essentially. By the way, Hammy, I've been seeing your comments on my videos. I wanted to try and script you better in this circumstance back when, and this is to everybody, when in the YTR group, Bryn and, Barman and Hammy were referred to as the British brothers, guess what, by Starman 3's Dumb Logic, where Alberto was the brother of Ron and Luigi, so Hammy was British Alberto, I guess, because we're supposed to compare people to our own things to make it seem funnier, I guess. I also included Cool here because of some weird thing I decided to include, but he wasn't in the group, so I was like, oh yeah, he's just gonna be one of those characters that's still in the series, but is just gonna not hang around them. Find out soon about Starman 3's idiocy. There was this group, and you'll see a lot of them in this particular series, where they were YTR members, but at the time they had quit. So I decided to include them because they're part of the series, but as people who were supposedly warning about YTR's horribleness, apparently. Notice the fade in of slide music supposed to indicate Bryn. The scene literally took forever to film. So Cool's gonna be the beginning of this lot where they apparently continue to stay away from them because, oh yeah, YTR's bad. But they want to get out of the area too. And the minions are here too! I needed to show his general path around the area to basically show an environment and such. I do not like masked shots, honestly, with the freeze camera code. I try to imagine as if they've been walking around avoiding coins the whole time, apparently. And that they've somehow avoided Cool all this time without noticing him. Illogical, but cartoon logic. And if you've tried to see how I used the rock before, it's that kind of logic. They're supposed to be idiots, so right now the box they're guarding is alive and they don't even know it. So you think, oh yeah, guarding this box is useless, let's go guard the switch instead. That switch actually has coins. And forcing the coins to be padded out is exactly their job because Vindimka wants them to actually see, oh yeah, can they get the coins? And can they get the star? If so, then he can keep taunting them across all the dimensions. Even though that thing was literally in front of them. Yes, it's stupid, I know. But they were stupid. That was supposed to be the point. And even if they are stupid, they're supposed to be a threat. That's what Cool's trying to say right now. And also, this place literally looks like the other place, but you can't really help it when the texture pack that you got was literally only covering the first 3 areas. I'm not even kidding. They're hired by Vindimka, that's why they're being so idiotic. I'm also trying to reference Bryn's little thing where he had this thing with ice for a while. A long while, actually. I'm not sure if it's still going on, but I wouldn't be surprised. But it was a thing back then, and the other 2 were also associated with superpowers, I guess, but whatever. I say this now because their general opinions of this might have changed, and I'm only trying to say what actually happened back then. They might have changed their opinions, and therefore my information would be out of date. It would be out of date anyway. Back then, in 2014, he liked saying that a lot, and especially in terms of how our relationship was of friends. He liked constantly saying that. So I took that into mind when I kept the script line, but in that general time, I hadn't actually spoken to him all that much. I hate freeze camera curve masking. But again, I couldn't get creative with the angles here, and I just imagined them, they just sort of disappeared, I guess. It's not the best thing ever, and it's not my fault. There they are in the very next scene to help you. I would have also put it in the script that these 3 need to be here to foil the plan, I guess. It's about the general. 1 about YTR, 2 about the whole situation happening in the story. That could be forgiven because the bridge has weird distance, I guess. Weird long distance rendering. So that masking bit there could have kind of been forgiven, I guess. I decided to reference it because why not? it would be in a better way than Assignment 3, I remember it in like one script line and the character wouldn't say anything again. Exposition, it's important. Sped up gameplay footage because I need to show how they get out of here. I wanted, again, in the past, and still technically kind of anyway, Smoss has always been hard to deal with, so I just wanted to show that kind of scripting. I'm not sure if it was accurate, but I guess it was sort of, alright, but I'm not going to have the most accurate representations of everybody because it's from my perspective of how these people act. So I only tried to show my perspective in these videos. I put a lot of people here and I shouldn't have. I think here was when I started the multi-script line thing, where I wouldn't have massive globs of text in the thing, where I would just put the script lines on different things, and that was where it started. Even though in the very beginning of this video I didn't exactly do that, so I think that was like halfway through through development or something. These two were in the group, yes, they were. Rap had PM'd me for coming in. Their names are corruptions of the actual people that they're based off of, but they're not their actual names. They're just based. Their personalities are based off of them, and their names are corrupted, but they're like, yeah. So yes, these technically do happen in an order, and I'm just sitting in the castle, just sitting there. Some people might not be pleased with their role, but I just want to say I do want to make sure that people do have an actual role in these kinds of series, instead of what Assignment 3 calls a role where you sit there for 10 seconds and say something. It was very difficult to actually get the owl to still film it. See, I try to make sure they came in from external sources instead of, oh, they just randomly jumped on the castle and jumped on the painting to get to the place. No, they didn't. They came through other external sources to the same area. I think this was when I began to use some remixes, I think. Oh no, it isn't actually. It's the original. No, I wasn't. I think it was later in. I don't know if it was part 10 or something, but it was definitely during the series I was getting more accustomed to using remixes / covers of other people in my videos instead of just using the original renditions of songs. Again, I had to get pretty with angles. Rap is behind Bluey apparently, even though he's for some reason gone. She's lying, of course, this is part of their little trick. I wanted to make a joke because both of them are blue and she just said blue freak when both of them are technically blue freaks in her terminology, so I wanted to make a stupid joke here. Technically it still gets me to this day because of how I positioned people in this general script. Even though I still have massive text glob, even if I segmented it. So basically I've said my exploration before because of course I came back to tell Smus, hey, go in the other place too. Well, in the story he would have volunteered, I wouldn't have just said, hey, go there. It was part of the story. Teleport! Don't, please, let's not go there. Again, they're talking about exit course, but they're gonna jump off the edge to do it. Sped up gameplay footage because I don't like doing all of the whole thing. That's the only mask fade I do, and that was before I learned how to black fade, so haha, that's me being stupid. Where are the others in terms of everyone else that's gone in the levels in this particular part? Anyway, see you all, have a good day, peace, and I'll see you in part,